Okay, pause right there. Hey guys, I'm Justin Z.
And I'm Wally.
And we are here to give you a review and comparison of the new X-Men First Class trailers. Yes, I said trailers. We are going to look at the original American trailer and compare it with the Russian trailer.
This movie in particular focuses on the early development of the X-Men, the relationship between Xavier and Magneto, and their role in important historical events that happened during the Cold War.
So as many of you know, X-Men 3 and Wolverine, well, they sucked. So this movie is Hollywood's attempt to revitalize the X-Men series.
X-Men 3 didn't suck.
It did.
No, it didn't.
It did, but we're moving on.
It didn't.
So what we're going to do is we're going to play back the trailers, starting with the Husky trailer, and we're going to pause at certain points to give a play-by-play. Okay, so one thing I wanted to mention here is that both the trailers are the same here. It shows these basically old footage of the original X-Men movies and combine it with the new stuff, and I thought it was a really great intro. It immediately brought you into the movie, into what you're going to see, and go, oh, we get to see the young people, and the way that the music was done for both trailers conveys the same idea. Here's one example of something they changed. They actually reshot when Eric Lehnsherr was taken away at the Jewish internment camp.
They did that, I'm assuming, so they can better use that scene and its importance in the film while getting in probably some other important story points that happen at this point in time in young Magneto's life. This is actually the first Cerebro room built by both Xavier and Magneto in the movie universe. This is also the first time in this trailer you're getting a sense for the time frame this movie is taking place in.
Yeah, I love how the design looks here with his helmet. It looks very archaic, and it's obviously not meant to fit his head the way it does in the first movies.
Definitely a prototype for some advanced technology.
Definitely. Now, the one thing that I look forward to most in this movie is the relationship between these two guys. I mean, there was a lot of jokes made on the internet about the bromance between Xavier and Magneto, but the fact is that some of my favorite movies are serious friendship relationships between men. Good examples are Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, The Shawshank Redemption. Those are some of the best movies ever made.
One of the cornerstone traits between Xavier and Magneto is the fact that they are both men after essentially the exact same goal, making them very similar parallels to Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr.
Exactly. Now, I want your opinion on this because it's a little weird. They're in a room, a velvet room, looks like a hotel room, maybe even a brothel, and they're sitting on the same bed together watching this chick who's, I think, topless with dragonfly wings.
There's actually a lot going on here. This might be the Hellfire Club. This might be when Xavier and Magneto are actually researching.
That's research right there.
And the Hellfire Club is a small cadre of villains, but it is also presumably a club that is hip and in the rockin' 70s.
Okay, now we've got Beast's face, and this is the first time we get to see it. In the American version, we get kind of a profile view, and we'll look at that too. What do you think about this face compared to Kelsey Grammer's?
Kelsey Grammer's face was a little more caricature, a little more clearly makeup. They look to be using some CGI touching up with this Beast to kind of give him a little more naturalistic, beastly look. There's shades of the cat-like Beast that the Beast is known for today, but they don't go full cat.
Oh, here we go. This is probably going to be the most iconic, it's probably going to be the hero prop in this movie, Magneto's helmet. Looks really interesting. It's much more metallic than we remember in the previous movies.
We've heard from the filmmakers that Magneto will go full purple costume glory. So the question will be, is he going to do that in the last seconds of the film and sort of a very big huzzah reveal? Or is this sort of an Iron Man Mark I type situation, bait and switch, where you see this helmet in the trailer, but the real goods are being saved for the movie?
Now, here's where we're going to get to comparing the two trailers. There's a lot of different elements and a lot of similar elements, but the most notable different element is the title. This shows kind of a barren, bulkhead kind of area, like it's been shot up, like through war, and it's showing the title in kind of glassy see-through font, much, much different than the American trailer.
The biggest thing you're going to see here, from a general structure standpoint, is this trailer is being shaped around the Cuban Missile Crisis, which alludes to the fact that major historical events that we are familiar with are going to be toyed with by the mutants in this universe.
You're not going to put that in a trailer to the Russian people. That's not going to sell very well.
No, the Russians are probably not going to be super excited to be reminded of the Cold War. Also, to point out as far as the way the trailer is structured, your first instance to see that this is a film set in the 60s is an old TV with JFK's face on it. That's a striking symbol, not just for Americans, but of anyone of an era.
Now, this is one thing I wanted to point out, is we get a nice, clear view of the first class uniform.
The important thing to note is the color scheme is a very classic X-Men color scheme. The blue and yellow has kind of always been a part of the costumes of various X-Men, dating back to the original X-Men, who that was all of their costumes kind of exclusively.
And then finally we get to our end title, much, much different from the Russian title. We see the X. It looks like something that he would put on the front of Xavier's School for Gifted Children.
It's actually modeled after the logo of Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters. It's kind of like a crest, the kind of thing you would see on a hat or a shirt that signified, I went there and I'm proud of it.
The other thing that you notice is two elements. One, inside the X is what looks like to be the shape of a safe. So it's meant to have that very protective and also technologically advanced feel. And then around it are a series of bullet holes around an area that looks like a shooting range. So normally we'd ask if it was a 4 out of 5, but it's hard to judge because that's in all Russian, both in what they're saying and in the taglines. But you still visually got the idea in both trailers. Which one did you like better?
From a design and structure standpoint, the American trailer is just masterful. It's fantastic.
It's much more relatable too.
It is. It really reaches out as both an X-Men fan or fans of the movies or even fans of American history. There's a lot for people to grab on there. The Russian trailer is a little more typical comic booky, and from a fan standpoint, I will probably pick apart the Russian trailer a lot more than the American one just because they give me more. If I had to pick one or the other over the other, the American one, definitely.
That's it from us. Thank you for watching. We'll definitely be making more reviews of upcoming trailers, but if there's a trailer that you have seen that you would want us to review, please send us an email to requests@mahalo.com.
And please be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to these videos.